Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into some Saturday afternoon hockey live on the DePaul Hockey Network from Johnny's Ice House West here in Chicago. Today is the second of two games this weekend to kick off the Blue Demons season as they welcome in the Louisville Cardinals to the near west side. Hello again, everyone. My name is Jarek Rubel, delighted to be with you today to round out the season opening back to back. The Blue Demons took care of business last night in the season opener, drubbing the Cardinals by a score of 9-1, which included a hat trick performance from Michael Fortune, along with two goals apiece from both Garrick Smith and Josh Taylor. Amongst the others who joined the goal parade, both Nick Zizas and Marco Cheka tallied their first goals in a Blue Demon sweater in each of their first games as a member of the club. Kyle Tushkevich was strong in net, only allowing one past him in the 60 minutes of game time. Whit Proctor, the LaGrange Park native, was the lone goal scorer for the Louisville Cardinals. The game started to get chippy once it got out of reach as we saw a heavy chunk of the third period played under special teams, with each team trading power play chances as well as a couple of 4-on-4 opportunities. We'll see if any of that chippiness boils over today, just 15-ish hours removed from last night's contest. So we're gearing up for game number two of the 2025-26 DePaul Blue Demons season here on the DePaul Hockey Network. Puck drop is in just a matter of moments live right here on YouTube.
And number 10, yes, and number 11, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for your heads. The United States.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready for game two of this doubleheader. Game one yesterday, of course, ended in a a DePaul victory, 9-1 over the Louisville Cardinals. As we get set here for a 4 p.m. face-off at Johnny's Ice House West in Chicago. Again, my name is Jared Grubel, riding solo this afternoon. Glad you've joined us here on the DePaul Hockey Network live on YouTube. As you heard the starting lineups in the open, starting for Louisville, it will be the line of Jack Blank as well as John Lane. And joining them will be Sam Levin. Meanwhile, starting for the DePaul Blue Demons, it'll be the third line. They were tremendous yesterday. Garrett Smith, Ryan McMaster, and AJ Kulikowski. Garrett Smith, a 3-point outing yesterday, 2 goals and an assist. DePaul in their home black sweaters with the light blue trim on the lettering and numbers, as well as those lettering and numbers being in a good old bright red. Louisville in their white uniforms with the red trim and the black lettering. Face-off won by DePaul's McMaster. We are underway in game two of the opening series. Right off the bat, centering attempt, McMaster. Rung one off the post. Official signaled no goal. He's on the puck in the far corner. Got his stick lifted, trying to stay with it. Puck at the far point, poked out the center by Jack Blank. And now DePaul will have to retreat back in their own zone to get after it. So from behind their own net, Aaron's played it around to the near wing. Garrett Smith on it, going back behind the goal for DeJulio. And now again, it'll be Aaron's up the far wing, and out the center come the Blue Demons. Garrett Smith over the red and the blue, up the far wing on his backhand, put one through the blue paint up the near side. Kept in by DeJulio at the point. McMaster, I should say Kulikowski, looking for it at his feet. Got turned around by Blank as the puck rode through the slot to the far corner. Gadecki for Louisville going after it with McMaster. Garrett Smith joining the fun, but it ends up being Jack Blank for Louisville, who gets it up the far wing, and it's out the center. Here comes Sam Levin over the DePaul blue line, put the puck into the near corner, chipped it up back to the near wall. Whit Proctor took a hit there from Garrett Smith, puck back out the center. And now Gadecki will reset with Austin Hester. Pass up ahead, Whit Proctor, the lone Louisville goal scorer a game ago, stick-handled himself into 3 Blue Demon sweaters and lost possession. And now a stretch pass up ahead and almost a breakaway for Tony Martirano, but it eluded him and came behind the Louisville net where goaltender A.J. Cooper will play it. Cooper getting the start last night for Louisville. Despite giving up 9, don't be fooled, he was very good as he soaks up a long shot there that came from Marco Cheka, who scored that last goal, the 9th goal of the game last night. So Cooper in goal for Louisville. On the other side, it's Max Hetman for the DePaul Blue Demons. 4-4 last season with a 2.67 goals against average, a 920 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. The 23-year-old out of Gurney played hockey for the Milwaukee Junior Admirals, as well as Team Illinois, the Highland Park Falcons, and Caramel Catholic High. Back underway here with the puck residing behind the Louisville net, riding up the near wing and coming back out the center as a pass for Wenkel went awry. Came back now behind the DePaul cage where Hetman will play it up the near wing, came towards the slot, but there to nullify that opportunity was Aarons as he's joining the rush as a defenseman. Gets the puck over the line on his backhand, tried to center it, poked away by Cooper. Now a right pad save is made on a follow-up. Good job there by Cooper to come up with a keen stop early. Here's Graham Jacobs back into the DePaul zone. Got bumped off the puck there by Jager Zimmerman, and now out come the Blue Demons once more. Aarons on the near side over the line. Put it to the near corner. Zimmerman, a centering attempt, a whack by Kulikowski, and that got stopped there by Cooper. So we played 2 minutes and 15 seconds here from Johnny's Ice House, still scoreless in Game 2 of this season opening series against Louisville for the Blue Demons. Louisville did play 2 matchups last weekend before this one up in Ann Arbor in Michigan, lost 5-0 and 3-1 to the Wolverines. Off the faceoff, Zimmerman got it from Zizas but couldn't hold it, as now Louisville's back the other way. Levin got kind of twisted up there. No penalty call, though. As on the near wing, it'll be Dagella trying to get by Raynon, and he does. Down deep into the Louisville zone he goes. Played it to the far corner. It'll be Zork putting it behind the goal for Zimmerman. Good play there from the German defenseman Nicholas Nymphius to pry it away and get possession back for the Cardinals. Puck back out the center now as Zizas will have to retreat, as well as Dagella. Nick Zizas scored a goal yesterday, the 7th of the game last night. Is back up on the near wing. Zork with a quick snapshot that got sticked up in the air and out of play by Cooper. So I mentioned Nick Zizas scoring his first goal as a Blue Demon. He celebrated a birthday on Thursday, turning 20 years old, and he ended up getting a good old birthday goal last night. And he kept that puck as they tossed it into the bench for his first as a DePaul Blue Demon. So just under 3 minutes gone by here in this opening frame. Face off back to the right of Louisville's Cooper. And Blank's able to beat Verlinski on that draw, but DePaul keeps possession. Chayka, a long shot, got dealt with to the far corner by Cooper. Puck comes back up to the point where Seth Platt, ex-University of Oregon product, played it up to the middle and now to the near side. Chayka with a quick shot, bounced off the stick there, Selvagi, as now he tried to center for Verlinski, but Gadecki there with a good stick lift for Louisville. Puck still stays in the zone though as Platt to Verlinski on the far wing. Got hounded by a pair of white sweaters there and turned the puck over. And now here comes Louisville up the near wing. Melanger on the feed from Jacobs. Melanger, a quick shot, blockered away there by Hetman. Liam Pepper now knocking it back out the center, but Louisville's Graham Jacobs sends it right back in. So Marco Chayka from behind his own net goes D to Platt, who returns the feed. Now chipping it up the near wings, Chayka. Selvagi turning with it at his feet, whacked it as far as the logo before Blank put it back in. So both teams making a line change here. Forwards, at least for DePaul, is the same D pairs out there. Chayka with it, put a pass off the skate of Louisville's Levin. And now DePaul will look back for another breakout once more. 4 minutes gone by, scoreless opening period. Jarek Rubel with you here on the DePaul Hockey Network. Sorry for the technical difficulties yesterday if you were trying to tune in, but everything's sorted out today, and hope you're enjoying the feed thus far. A puck back in the Louisville zone. No icing, said the linesman, as a heavy hit there was given by Raynon to Garrick Smith. Then Garrick Smith with a 3-point outing a game ago, 2 goals and an assist. Trying to fight for it free here from Raynon does. Raynon lost a stick and he's down behind the Louisville net. Won't be a whistle till Louisville touches up as Raynon gets back to his feet. Still shaken up. No whistle, as now he's going to return the favor with a check there on the boards to McMaster. Meanwhile, on the near wing, it's still DePaul. Aarons with a little quick shot there. Ended up getting dealt with to the near corner by Cooper. Now on those near boards at the circle, Aarons fed it across, but McMaster couldn't locate the feed as he put it back behind the goal for A.J. Kulikowski. Kulikowski to the near point. Here's Aarons. Joe Aarons shaking off Sam Levin at the half boards. Goes down low to Smith, and his shot ended up getting blocked from behind the goal line and deflects out of play in the far corner. So both teams changing up their lines again, as now it'll be the top line making its way on the ice for the DePaul Blue Demons. Take a look at the lines here tonight. It's the same as a game ago. This line is Josh Taylor, Anthony Martirano, and Michael Fortune. They combined for 5 goals out of the 9 a game ago. Zizas with Zimmerman and Zork. And we'll get to the remaining 2 here in a moment as we're back underway. in the near corner. Here is Michael Fortune, fresh off a hat trick a game ago. Put it behind Taylor, trying a quick shot, or Martirano, I should say, from a tough angle, and that didn't get through. Now Louisville back to center. Jacobs will play it in, and Hetman will deal with it behind his own cage. Gave it now to Aarons, who put it up the far wing, trying to chip it free as Taylor. Got it to center. Nice stick lift helps him keep possession as he whacked it as far as the face-off circles in the Louisville zone before Hester sent it back the other way. So Aarons now on the reset for DePaul. Played it out of the reach of Taylor. Now a forechecks on against Gadecki. Taylor got to it first, centered it. Here's Fortune. A shot and a good right pad save is made by Cooper. Cooper now faced a lot here early. That happened a game ago. As here's another shot from Chayka that he's able to get with the blocker and put it out of play. So the rest of the lines here tonight, again, we mentioned who opened the game, Ryan McMaster between Garrick Smith and A.J. Kulikowski. The fourth line tonight, Justin Verlinski between Marco Salvegi and Leah Pepper. Deep pairings go as such. Joe Aarons with Luis DeJulio, Seth Platt with Marco Chayka, and Eli Winkle, who had 2 assists a game ago with Edgar Dagella. So face off to Cooper's left. It'll be between Blank and Zizas. As after a quick pause, the puck gets dropped and we're back underway. Zork played it to the back for Platt with a long shot, hit his own man in the slot in front. And now Blank will nudge it out the other way. And on the near wings, big John Lane. John Lane out of Lamont, Illinois, 18 years old. Played it in behind the DePaul cage. And now it's played back out the center by the Blue Demons. Zork trying to get past Gadecki, can't quite do that. Hester there to back him up. Fumbled the puck momentarily, but Blank's on it. Blank up the far wing, being hounded by Zizas. Couldn't get the puck past him quite yet, as now Zizas poked it back to the Louisville blue line, as DePaul will make a quick line change for their forward group. So Gadecki playing it back into the DePaul end, where Platt will quickly put it the other way for DePaul. Now in the Louisville zone, Hester will go D-to-D back to Gadecki. Trace Gadecki wearing number 25 for the Cardinals. Sidesteps one DePaul defender, got it with a shot. Would have went wide, but snaring it anyway with the glove is Max Hetman. So Hetman did not get the start yesterday. He was the backup for that game. Kyle Tuskevich was the one who was in the blue paint for DePaul. And as I mentioned in the open, only 1 goal past him, and it came from Louisville's Whit Proctor, as that was his first goal in a Cardinal sweater, as he had only 2 assists last year. Could not find the back of the net. Now a try from the slot by Jacobs on his backhand went wide to the blocker side. And now here comes an odd man rush for the Blue Demons. Up the far wings, Verlinski staying on side. Salvegi tried to get it to him and it went on goal. And that was dealt with by Cooper. Rebound to the far boards. Aaron's a long shot. Got blocked in front by Atkins. Verlinski a turnaround try. Went through the blue paint on the far side and wide. Now Aaron's on the near wing. Thudded across now. Here is Aaron's once more. And a one-timer that came from Salvegi shut down Cooper as he had to move from left to right. Now Louisville able to escape the quick pressure that DePaul just put on him. And now Salvegi running into a man, Melandra at center, who's now down in a little bit of distress. He's trying to get back to his feet, went palms up for a penalty. He's not going to get one. And now Pepper for DePaul played it off a Salvegi stick, but it came to Louisville's Austin Hester, who will gallop with it up the far wing. Chipped it as far as the red line. Now a touch pass finds Aarons into the zone. He likes to join the rush. Went for a slap shot. Got his stick tied up with the Louisville defenseman. Now has it back at the top of the near circle. Went this way. Salvegi looking for a tip in front for McMaster. Got it, but it went wide. Now on the far wing, here's a shot by DeJulio, shut down Cooper, rebound through the slot, picked up now by John Lane. Now Lane trying to get past a pair of black sweaters is not able to, as it got taken back into DePaul possession at their own blue line. So from behind his own net, DeJulio goes to air and still out on the ice. Pass deflected off of Garrick Smith's skate. And now back in possession at the moment are the Cardinals. Again, the Cardinals only with 11 skaters on their roster and 1 goalie, so they are a shorthanded roster. And it's always something to keep an eye on as the game goes on, as the shifts, start to feel a lot longer when you've been going at it for 25, 30 minutes. You start to feel it with those legs, especially early in the season. We're through 8 3/4 so far in this scoreless first period as Garrick Smith works it into the Louisville line on the far side with a snapshot, and that got blockered down to the near corner by Cooper. McMaster got tied up with Hester, who turned it over for Louisville, trying to grab it in the slots, Kulikowski, but he's tied up. Could have been a hook there on Hester, but no call by the officials, as now the puck in front of the Louisville bench will be whacked back in by Kulikowski. So Gadecki back on it for the Cardinals, turned it over to Garrick Smith. Smith now trying to play it towards the slot, deflected off a Cardinal on net. And A.J. Cooper able to come up with that. So keep an eye on Garrick Smith, number 2 for the DePaul Blue Demons. Mentioned he had 2 goals and an assist a game ago. He's a transfer grad student from Michigan State University. In each of his last 2 seasons, he scored exactly 11 goals and 18 assists. The Southfield, Michigan native has one heck of a shot, too, as he's not afraid to go upstairs, as he had a wicked shot from the far corner on the side down to our right that was able to pop the water bottle of goaltender A.J. Cooper a game ago, who's now faced with an opportunity, and DePaul scores off the draw. Michael Fortune had 4 goals last year, has 4 goals in 4 periods already this year. And the Blue Demons off and running. So Michael Fortune off the face-off to the left of A.J. Cooper, found a loose puck on top of the blue paint and was able to catch Cooper out of position just a bit to where he could not get that outstretched right pad far enough, and he was able to tuck a backhander home for DePaul's first goal of the game. So Michael Fortune last year, 4 goals and 1 assist in 10 games, split time between University of Illinois and here in DePaul. Already matched his goal total from a year ago in just 4 periods this season. So back underway, here's LaGrange Park's very own Whit Proctor, muscled a man out there for DePaul DeJulio, but couldn't keep the puck with him as it sits in front of the penalty boxes. At the feet of Josh Taylor, made a nice little pass behind him. And DeJulio played it this way for Fortune. Into the zone it goes. Martirano will get on it against John Lane. Got good positioning and button hooked away from him. Played it to the point. DeJulio looking for a backdoor tip in from Taylor. Didn't get it. And now Louisville here has iced the puck. So halfway through this first period here, as Michael Fortune has DePaul up by a score of 1-0. That top line is sensational, by the way. Fortune already at 4 goals this year, Taylor with 2. And Taylor last year led the Blue Demons with 25 points. He had 9 goals and 16 assists. Meanwhile, Martirano, 4 goals, 17 assists, had 6 power play assists, as he's a great facilitator in the O-zone. Now off a face-off win by Zizas. Chayka played it down low. Zort trying to get after it along with Austin Hester for Louisville. Puck squirted free now, where it'll be wrapped around the boards by Trace Gadecki. Now into the near corner, DePaul trying a centering pass, eluded Zizas, came to the point, kept in play, a shot, went wide to the glove side. Backhander Zizas missed on the short side as well. Puck now in the near half boards. Looking to work it up high and out are the Cardinals. Levin got it as far as center. Now Chayka and Zimmerman will try and swap spots here and enter the zone, but failing to keep possession was Jager Zimmerman with the puck. Now battling forward at the Louisville blue line, and a hand pass gets whistled, and the official says the faceoff's going to go inside the Louisville defensive zone. So 9:18 to go here in this first period. Again, my name's Jarek Rubel. Glad you're with me on the DePaul Hockey Network, live on YouTube. Again, second of 2 games this weekend for the Blue Demons to open their season against the Louisville Cardinals. So Nymphius, the defenseman in there for the draw for Louisville, lost it, and a drive right away by Aarons will be caught in the glove through a bit of traffic by goaltender A.J. Cooper. So Joe Aarons wearing number 35 for the DePaul Blue Demons. Very effective joining the rush, as I mentioned, as a defenseman. You'll see him very much jump up in the play and try and generate offense, as he put a puck in the slot right away for Pepper, whose turnaround shot will be soaked up by Cooper as that puck hit him right in the number 30 on his chest, as they got the basic Louisville wording right across their sweaters. Numbers right underneath them. Now a quick face-off coming up to Cooper's right. It'll be face-off won by Verlinski and DePaul, as a shot from the near point by Wenkel went wide, went to the far corner where it'll be sent to the near side, and now it'll be Selvagi up on it. Went across to Aarons. Aarons now trading spots with Wenkel. Good job to create some space there. Backhander through the slot. Back door to left pad save by Cooper. Rebound, it's loose. Came out to the near side. And now the whistle's going to go, as there's bodies on top of Cooper in the blue paint. Now you got to somewhat be careful there Here, A.J. Cooper, as you hope he's not hurt by any means. He looks like he's okay, but he's the only goaltender this Louisville club has, as now the officials have to jump on top of the pile here between a pair of skaters, try and get a number. Looks like it's Graham Jacobs for Louisville. And it looks like Liam Pepper for the Blue Demons. We saw Pepper get a little chippy last night in the 9-1 win for the Blue Demons. So he'll head to the bench here, it looks like. Thought maybe they were going to issue out a penalty for him after everything happened, or perhaps they might as they're going to the scorer's table here. As Graham Jacobs is going to go take a seat for Louisville. And it looks like that's all it's going to be. So DePaul going to go to the power play. They scored a 4-on-3 goal last night by Josh Taylor. That was able to extend their lead. Went all the way up to 5-1 at the time of that goal. So face-off here coming up to the left of Cooper again. The Blue Demons power play as Graham Jacobs sits for roughing for the Cardinals. Face-off win by Martirano and the Blue Demons. Aaron's with it. Gets a return pass from Martirano. Shot through a screen there. Save made. Rebound and follow-up on Fortune and Martirano. Cooper able to stand tall there for the Cardinals, giving his team a chance. So a saucer pass comes this way for Taylor. Aaron's now straight away with it. The first to Martirano. He'll tee one up. That hit a body in front. Rebound try. Fortune shut down Cooper. Blocked out into the slot. Kept in by DePaul. Turnaround try. Fortune. And that's going to get caught and held for a whistle by A.J. Cooper. So this DePaul power play, they're not afraid to just put pucks on net every time they get the opportunity to. Yesterday we saw exactly that as they fired plenty of shots towards the netminder A.J. Cooper for the Cardinals. As a faceoff comes up to his left here, as it'll be between Whit Proctor and Martirano. Now Louisville able to win that draw, but it deflects out of play right into the Cardinal bench. So their head coach flips it back out on the ice, the biscuit that is. So we're under 90 seconds now to go on the power play, 87 to be exact, 8:15 to go in the first period, 1-0 DePaul, courtesy Michael Fortune's 4th of the season. Now face-off won by DePaul again, thanks to some help from Martirano and Kulikowski's teamwork, and Kulikowski is shot from the slot there, hit Cooper right in the chest, and he was able to make a good save standing on top of the blue paint, not allowing DePaul to see a lot of that net to shoot at. So Martirano again versus Proctor for this draw. And Martirano wins it. Played it to the back was Kulikowski. Gets set up in that bumper position. Puck in front for Fortune. A left pad save was made on that try by Cooper. Follow up by Martirano off the side of the net. Cooper's out of the blue paint. Where is that puck? It's loose. And the officials blow it dead as A.J. Cooper went to the side of the net on the far side. Got a little out of position there, but was able to reluctantly get a whistle. So 1:10 to go now on the penalty to Louisville's Graham Jacobs. Second unit coming over the boards for the Blue Demons. It'll be Ziza, Zork, and McMaster the forward. Zimmerman, a forward playing the left point. And then DeJulio here as well at the far point. He goes this way to Zimmerman. Return pass to DeJulio. Goes now to Zork. Nathan Zork button hooking on Whit Proctor. Got it back to DeJulio at the far point. Now it'll be DeJulio once more, faking a drive, goes this way. Zimmerman with the trigger pull. That got the glass. Around to the far boards again. Here's Zork. This way, Zimmerman again, top of the near circle. Looking for a passing lane. Goes across now, Zork. Let one go. He scores! Nathan Zork, his first of the season. And the Blue Demons with a power play goal extend their lead to 2-0. So Nathan Zork able to get his first of the year, had 1 goal and 3 assists in 28 games a season ago. His lone goal was a power play marker. So his second goal in as many seasons also comes on the man advantage for the Blue Demons in just his second season. Well, Zork split double-A time between the Lake County Vipers and Highland Park Falcons. Chicago-born kid. And he doubles up the Blue Demon lead 2-0 here in the first period. So back underway, Nimfuse, the German defenseman for Louisville, turned it over and tried to center. It was Liam Pepper, but he hit the stick of Atkins. Now sends it this way from a seam pass to Dougella. Dougella, shot deflected off a Cardinals stick, being Sam Levin's, and the puck goes out of play. 7:05 to go, first period, 2-0 in favor of the Blue Demons, thanks to Michael Fortune's 4th of the year and Nathan Zork's 1st of the season, 2nd goal as a Blue Demon. So it'll be Nimfuse against Verlinski for this draw to the right of Cooper. All the play here has been down to our left. Not a lot of zone time whatsoever for the Cardinals, as Dougella couldn't keep that puck in. It's a delayed offsides. DePaul touched up, but Louisville sent it to center. And now DePaul once again will reset 2-on-2. Selvagi blew a tire, fell on both of his knees, lost possession of the puck. And now Graham Jacobs with it, trying to just dump it on in and create some sort of forecheck here for this Cardinals roster, as it's been all DePaul here through the first 13 and a half minutes. Chayka, rink wide for Pepper. He has room to skate. Pepper has a man breaking with him, Selvagi. Waiting, shooting, save made Cooper. Rebound to the far corner. It'll be Gadecki trying to pry it away, can't. Here's Pepper trying to tough angle to bank it in. Couldn't quite as it came through the blue paint. And now Graham Jacobs the other way with it for the Cardinals. Sidesteps Chayka. Who will get there first? The Blue Demons do. It's Seth Platt. Platt shaking off a hit there from Jacobs, able to stay with the puck. Gave it to Chayka, and Chayka thought he had a man on the far wing, didn't, but it won't go far enough for icing, so the DePaul guys could go in on the forecheck. Puck on the near wing. Melandra for Louisville got it up to the red line, but it'll be sent right back in by Chayka. Chayka went to Lyons Township High School. So did Whit Proctor of the Louisville Cardinals. Those two were warming up before the first game of the series yesterday. So they grew up as good buddies, now playing against one another from two colleges from two different states. So Hester going back after it in his own zone for the Cardinals. Flipped it out to center. And now here comes Melandra. Tried to elude Garrick Smith, did, but had to defer back to Hester. Zimmerman blew a tire, so that allows Hester to work in on the far wing. He's in deep, out of the far corner, trying to center it, a quick shot, shut down by Hetman. His first save of the game, as that came off the stick of Jack Blank. So that's a tough stop to make here in a hockey game in which you haven't seen any rubber. You got to try and get into the flow of the game if you're Max Hetman, the sophomore. And right there, his first stop was a dandy, as he was able to nullify a point-blank chance. So face-off coming up to his right. It'll be against Martirano and Blank. Both teams' top lines on the ice, and Blank wins that draw for Louisville. It's snapped down deep in behind now and played around to the near wing, where Fortune will go rink wide out the center. Nobody home there at the moment. So Renone will take back over for Louisville. Bennett Renone played hockey as 14U down in South Florida. His favorite team's the Florida Panthers, pre-business major out of Providence, Rhode Island. So he's all over the place in terms of where he resides in the United States. Proctor here from the near point, flipped one that went way wide to the far corner. Up the boards, Gadecki put it back down low. DeJulio bank it around to the near side for Aarons. Shields nicely, put it in the skates momentarily of Fortune. Fortune trying to feed Martirano on out, but Proctor had other ideas for the Cardinals. And now DePaul will have to try again. Down to the final 4.5 here of the first period. A delayed offsides on Louisville, so they have to touch up. And it looks like DePaul might want a line change, but they're not going to get one just yet, as now they'll get a fresh set of D pairings out on the ice. So down to our left. A bad pass here, turned over. Martirano has room to work with a shot. Tried to go 5-hole, stick the side nicely by Cooper. Puck bouncing back through the slot, trying to get after its Aarons, but John Lane able to get away from that, but put it up the near wing right to Martirano, as he did a good job to put the brakes on and get it. Zimmerman, a shot, bounced off the glove of Cooper, rebound to the far wing. And back out the center, the Cardinals send it. Platt blew a tire, looking to get back to his feet and get it. He does, goes this way to Marco Chayka. Chayka over the red line. Got poke checked at the Louisville Blue. And now a pass up ahead for Jacobs was just out of his reach, and that allows DePaul to take back over. Under 4 minutes now to go in this first period. 2-0 DePaul thanks to Fortune and Zork, as another shot from Zimmerman on the rush was paddled away there by Cooper. Rebound went all the way back out the center. Well, now DePaul once again on the re-entry. Zork Gets by Hester. Zorka shot. Tried to go upstairs. Shouldered away by Cooper. Rebound on the far boards. Zimmerman poked it for DePaul, but it went right to Hester, who tried to clear the zone. It's not out. And now it'll be kept in. Zimmerman this way. Zizas' shot and a good save made by Cooper on top of the blue paint to challenge him. Now on the near wing, DePaul trying to keep the pressure on. A shot by Winkle went wide. Now Aaron's getting the loose puck on the far wing. Played it down low, but on it first is Hester, or Atkins, I should say, for the Cardinals. And now Louisville looking to get on out. Pass here trying to hit Jacobs. Ended up going on goal. That should be about a 200-foot shot on goal. And Hetman there with his second stop of the game, so you could say. Now, looks like a little bit of chippiness here between Melandra and Wenkel, as cooler heads prevail pretty quickly there. And both teams here look to make a line change. Now, it looks like penalty is going to be issued out here. Liam Pepper going to get called for roughing, as he got called for that yesterday as well. I told you he likes to get in the scrums. He's not afraid to throw his body around and cause a little bit of chaos. 47 in black and red, 23 years old, out of Chicago. Only 141 pounds, but he's feisty for a littler dude. So a power play here for Louisville. They went 0 for 5 a game ago. And 2 minutes up on the clock, 2:50 left in this first period. A chance to cut the lead in half if you're the Cardinals. DePaul here, Verlinski with a quick clear. Has Hester get back after it and start a power play breakout rush. So he resides between his circles here in his own zone. Put it ahead for Gadecki. Trace Gadecki ahead. Blank trying to get past Verlinski. He does. Here's Blank cutting behind the DePaul net. Played it around to the far corner. Trying to get on it. Jacobs kind of just lollygagged there, not moving his legs. Now a board battle ensues. It'll be picked up by Melandra. Thrown towards the net. Stick aside there by Hetman nicely to the near wall. And now DePaul with an easy clear, sending it down the ice to Salvegi. So they've killed off the first 43 seconds of this penalty to Liam Pepper, as the DePaul PK here has had plenty of practice time here early, especially after all of the penalties that were taken yesterday. They did have a couple of shorthanded rushes on odd man chances, but no shorthanded goals to count for yesterday for DePaul. So under a minute now to go on the power play, 105 seconds to go in the period, as Blank here got ran into by Smith at center and just coughed up possession. And Chayka launches it right back down the ice. So Cooper will let it sit there for Gadecki. Put it up the near wing, but it's going to come to McMaster. McMaster trying to play it towards his man in the slot. Wankel couldn't. And Hester away on the rush. Gets over the red. Now the DePaul blue. Dropped it. Here's Proctor. Shot it. Blocked in front by Chayka. And now Marco Chayka against his buddy Will Proctor. They muscle one another out, but DePaul with possession, trying to get by McMaster. An aggressive poke check there by Cooper, able to nullify that chance as what could have been a good shorthanded opportunity. And now in front of us here, Smith, a big hit on Hester as his helmet comes off. He's going to have to get to the bench. A penalty is coming up here on DePaul as they'll touch up. And it'll be Garrick Smith going to the sin bin here. And we'll see exactly what the call is. Should be a rough. And it'll be an 8-second 5-on-3 for the Louisville Cardinals. Down to the final minute exactly in this period. So now the referees are discussing what they want to issue out here. Yet we've seen no signal per se from the head official talking to the timekeepers. As now Garrick Smith's coming back out of the box. I wonder if he's just going to the locker room for this period, or if he's perhaps getting tossed for a major as he's going palms up, skating out of here. And we'll wait to see if we could get a signal here from the official. So 2-0 DePaul here as they're facing a shorthanded opportunity here, an extended one, with only 8 seconds remaining on their first kill. Now going to have to kill off another one, including 8 seconds of 5-on-3. Now DePaul just sent another Blue Demon to the box to serve that penalty for Smith. And I wonder if he's going to be tossed from this game for that open ice hit on Hester. So head coach Sean Hammond for DePaul looking to get an official word here. This is not losing his mind just yet. He seems pretty calm there on the bench. So he scratches his beard and looks like he knows he might just have to deal with it. So 5-on-3 here for 8 seconds. Then we'll go back to 5-on-4 for the remaining 52 seconds of this opening period. The door's been opened here for Louisville to try and cut this DePaul lead in half. As the referees here are still discussing with the scorer's bench what is going to happen here. And we'll see if we get ready to drop the puck now or if we got to wait an extra second. The power play unit, though, for the Cardinals will be Whit Proctor with Trace Gadecki and Jack Blank. John Lane out there as well with Josh Atkins. Now the 3 penalty killers as well for DePaul: DeJulio, Martirano, and Joe Aarons. So it looks like a misconduct has been issued out to Smith. It's a 5-minute penalty. It's on the clock, and it looks like his night's going to be done. So off the faceoff, DePaul able to get it. They snap it down the ice. That'll get rid of the 5-on-3. Now out of the box is Pepper. He'll go to the bench, and stepping on the ice will be Josh Taylor, the Bolingbrook native for DePaul. Louisville back into the zone. Proctor put one in the air that popped up. Lane will grab it and give it right back to him on the near boards. He'll trade spots with Proctor now. Proctor got stick checked but stays with it. Threw it towards the net. Hit his own man Blank in the knee. Puck ricocheted in behind the DePaul goal line. And Taylor will grab it, launch it down the ice in the final half minute here of period 1. So down to the final 20. One last power play rush this period for Louisville, who have plenty of time in the second period to work with, as it won't matter if they score. That 5 minutes, the whole 5 minutes, will have to be killed. Now, DePaul doing a good job of just sticking it on the near boards to kill clock, and they win the battle. Send it down the ice, and that will conclude matters here in period 1. So the Blue Demons striking early courtesy Michael Fortune, his 4th goal in as many periods as he had a hat trick yesterday. And then Nathan Zork on the power play was able to get his 2nd power play goal, only his 2nd goal ever as a DePaul Blue Demon in his 2nd season. And that'll send them into the dressing room up 2-0, but still have 3 minutes and 57 seconds left of a 5-minute major to kill off. So we'll be back momentarily, the second period, just around the corner. Don't go anywhere. This is Jarek Rubel, and you're listening to the DePaul Hockey Network live on YouTube. Welcome back to Johnny's Ice House West here on near West Side Chicago. Jarek Rubel here with you live on the DePaul Hockey Network on YouTube as it's 2-0 Blue Demons through 20 minutes of play. Michael Fortune with his fourth goal of the season in 4 periods after registering a hat trick last night. Then Nathan Zort, a power play tally on the lone power play opportunity for DePaul in that first period. They have to kill off 4 more minutes of a 5-minute major issued to Garrick Smith for an open ice hit on Austin Hester for Louisville, and Garrick Smith will not return to tonight's game as he was given a misconduct. So period 2 is underway. See if Louisville can capitalize here on the power play. Sure, their coach was figuring out what they want to rock with to try and cut this deficit in half to begin period 2. Here's Levin in the near corner, set it for Proctor, who whistled one past the glove side of Hetman and wide. So Hetman should be tested here pretty good in this early stages of the second period, as he only faced 2 shots, though it was technically 3 in that opening frame. Now DePaul can't clear as a whack there by DeJulio is kept in by Hester. Proctor will whistle it down low. Levin from behind the DePaul cage. DeJulio down on one knee to block a passing lane. Did so successfully, but the clearing attempt momentarily was kept alive by Proctor. But now the Blue Demons send it down the ice. 3 minutes left to kill now on the major penalty to Garrick Smith. So here's Austin Hester. Hester out of Franklin, Tennessee, turned the puck over. Martirano shorthanded, driving to the goal, got taken down, trying to stay with it, did, and Cooper had to poke it out of there. And now here comes Louisville 3-on-2 if they hurry. Racing up with speed's Melandra, but a good poke check from behind by Fortune. Put the puck down low. Now on the Louisville forecheck, 2 white sweaters surround the 1 Blue Demon. The Blue Demon is Seth Platt back there, as he's unable to win that one. But blowing a tire was a Cardinal, so now DePaul's able to get the puck, and down the ice it goes once again. So Cooper will let it sit there for Trace Gadecki. Trace Gadecki, a Christmas Eve baby, 19 years old, will turn 20 later this year. Sent one down the ice, missing everybody with the pass, and an icing is whistled. So 2:12 left to kill on this 5-minute major for DePaul. And with that icing, the faceoff will come all the way back into Louisville's defensive zone. And they'll have to try and work back the other way. So the PKers right now for DePaul are Platt and Chayka, as well as Verlinski and Fortune. Power play unit of Graham Jacobs, John Lane, and Sam Levin, the forward group for Louisville. Meanwhile, the defenseman, Austin Hester and Trace Gadecki. Louisville loses that draw. DePaul's able to get it. Played it back out the center before pitchforking one back the other way. And Austin Hester will restart this breakout for the Cardinals. Hester now over 1 line 2. Make it 3 into the DePaul zone. Still has possession. Trying a shot. Went wide through the blue paint. Came to the near corner. Chayka trying to stay with it for DePaul. Lost it. Here's Lane trying to get on it. Played it around up the far wing from behind the net. Hester will give it right back. Lane looking for some options. Wants to trade spots with Hester. Create some space in the slot. Now made a pass to Jacobs that got intercepted by Platt and sent down the ice. That could be a shot on goal as well for the Blue Demons, as that one went right on target. Under 90 seconds now left to kill for the team in black and red. Chayka in his own zone once more. Scored the 9th goal of the game yesterday for DePaul. Sent it down the ice for Cooper to stick to the near wing. And now Whit Proctor with it will leave it up on the near wing for Raynon to come with it. The Providence, Rhode Island native lost it. Sent back out the center now once again by DePaul Zizas. And it goes all the way down once more for a reset. Final minute of the major issued out to Garrick Smith. So after stumbling, here comes Patrick Melandra trying to get through center. Couldn't. And now the other way. Here comes DeJulio for DePaul. Tried to center it for McMaster, but the pass went behind him. Now Zizas able to stick it back to the far wing. DeJulio will put it back behind the Louisville cage. And down to the final 40 now of this kill for DePaul. Up the far wing. Here comes Whit Proctor. This guy could shoot it. He let one go right. Pad save made there by Hetman, as he had to be alert from a tougher angle to make that stop. Now McMaster has plenty of room to work. McMaster near circle tees one up, and a glove save is made by Cooper. He had thoughts of playing it, but he decided he'll hold it for the whistle. So we're through 3:39 here in this second period. Still 2-0 DePaul, 21 seconds left on the major penalty issued out to Garrick Smith. Again, he was given a game misconduct, so that's a tough hit for the Blue Demons as he had 2 goals and an assist a game ago, and he could really shoot it, Smith can. Face off to the left to Cooper, pulled right away by Martirano, just threw it through the blue paint, came out the far side. Now a turnover. Lane put it right back on Martirano's blade, but the Cardinals able to get it back. And Hester now in the final 10 of this Louisville power play. Near wing, Jacobs collides here at center with Platt. Lane with the puck, gallops over the Johnny's logo at center. Now into the DePaul zone far wing. Tried to drag it through his legs, but Taylor took it away. Out of the box now comes Fortune, who served the rest of that major for DePaul. And the top line on the ice for the Blue Demons. Here's Fortune snapping one and a blocker save made by Cooper from far out. Puck back at the far point. Chayka fanned on it one time, fanned on it a second time. Now is able to get past Graham Jacobs and play the puck down low. Austin Hester will send it back along for Louisville. And now DePaul back on the takeaway. Now down low's Chayka. Down in Gretzky's office, centered in the slot. Aaron's a shot, and he missed high and wide to the far side. Fortune took a tumble and lost his glove in top of the Louisville paint. Now back in front of the penalty boxes, the Blue Demons will reset. Just about 5 minutes now elapsed. 4 3/4 to be exact in period 2. And an icing here is going to be whistled on DePaul after Cooper wanted to head out and play it, but the whistle went anyways. And the faceoff is going to come back down. We'll see if the referees perhaps want to put it at center after Cooper went to play it. But it looks like it'll stay in the O zone for Louisville. So Nicholas Nymphius in there for this faceoff. As it looks like perhaps now they are going to move the center or the faceoff back to center, as that appears to be the right call after the icing whistle went when Cooper went to play it. So Nymphius, the big 6'1", listed as a defenseman, but he's playing center as well. He's from Wolfrath, Germany, as he recently played for the Rattinger Ice Aliens, one of the more interesting team names you'll ever see. As Aaron's from the neutral zone put one right on Cooper, who swallowed it up and got a whistle. So now we'll get an O-zone draw coming up here for DePaul. So again, my name's Jarek Grubel. Glad you're tuning in here on the DePaul Hockey Network. Got a good chunk of you tuning into the broadcast. Hope you're enjoying your stay. As off the draw, Zork, a quick trigger pull on the faceoff win from Zizas, went high and wide on the far wing. Trying to play it with Zimmerman. Got it up high, but Zork, keeping it on side, took a bit of a bump, but the puck will go down into the near corner of the Louisville zone. Zizas trying to put on the brakes, lost the puck. Zork, a tough angle try, paddled down there by Cooper. Puck still alive in the Louisville zone. Played down behind the goal. Zork in the near corner. Played it right behind said net, but Austin Hester on there first for Louisville. Tried to play it up the far wing. Good forecheck by the Blue Demons. Zizas able to keep the pressure on, but now the puck will escape out the center, and Aarons will have to skate back. So Joe Aarons, big number 35 for DePaul, parks the bus behind his net as he looks to get a breakout started. Pass jumped over the blade of Zimmerman. It's going to go far enough for icing, and this time the faceoff will come all the way back down into the Blue Demons' defensive zone. So DePaul going to have to keep the same lines out there on the ice. Zork, Zizas, and Zimmerman. Aarons and Wenkel, the defenseman. Meanwhile, Jack Blank out there for this draw for Louisville, along with Melandra, Graham Jacobs, Renone, and Atkins. Off the draw, quick shot, right pad save is made by Hetman. Follow-up after a steal by Melandra went wide to the far corner. Is now on that far wing. Trying to dig it out is DePaul, able to elude a man, his own man, Zimmerman, with Zizas, and he's away. Near wing, Zork on side, back to Zizas on a breakaway, and he just mishandled it. Zimmerman, a follow-up, who was trailing on that backhander, shouldered down by Cooper as he was faced by a trio of black sweaters and was able to make the stop. Well, back at the other end of the ring, Aaron's still out there. Put a pass wide of Zork. Zork now turned it over to Melandra, put it in front of his own bench, and that allows Aaron's to take back over as he dangerously put it in front of his own net. Now Louisville can't corral it, and back the other way, Zork with Zimmerman. Over the line, Zork, drop pass for Zimmerman. Shot went off the leg there of Atkins and deflected to the far boards. Now on it is DeJulio. Threw it towards the net. Blocked in front by Renone. Now at the near circle, here's Wenkel, the defenseman down low. Eli Wenkel, 2 assists yesterday after only ever having 1 career assist since the 18-19 season. Bet that felt good to get a couple of apples, both on deflections, and get on the score sheet. Puck in the slot here in the Louisville zone, chipped up ahead. Now galloping with it through center's Graham Jacobs. Played it off the near boards, and it'll go on into the near corner of the DePaul zone. And it'll be taken back away by the Blue Demons. DeJulio up the far wing. McMaster, a stretch pass ahead, trying to hit Salvegi on a break chance, but it was off a stick of Louisville, that Austin Hester. But back in the O zone, a center attempt by Kulikowski cut off. And now a pass up ahead now for Hester again. Hester cutting down to the far corner of the DePaul zone. Tried to center it from a tough angle. Went off the side of the net. And now it'll be DeJulio just peeling back in his own zone. A little bit of a slow breakout here, probably on purpose, but now turned over. Proctor tried to feed Levin. Got it back behind the goal line. To the near corner he goes. Back skating, playing it up to the point. Here's Trace Gadecki. His shot went through a maze of players and got hit by the toe of Max Hetman. Might have went off the outside of the cage as well. As now Proctor from the far corner took a bump, threw it towards the net, knocked to the near side by Hetman. Now Gadecki once more taken down. That'll be a penalty coming up here on Salvegi. Extra attacker coming on now for Louisville as John Lane did a nice move to keep it alive. Up high, here's Hester. A shot went right off of Kulikowski, rolling towards the other side of the ice. Once he touches up, the whistle will go. And now a tripping call coming up here as it'll be Marco Salvegi taking a seat for 2 minutes in the sin bin. So it'll be technically the fourth power play of the game coming up here for Louisville after DePaul killed off a 5-minute major as well as a 2-minute minor at the end of that first period and then early here in the second. And it's still 2-0, courtesy the tallies by Fortune and Zork. Louisville trying to find themselves back in this contest to get it within a goal. So face-off pulled back by Martirano, but Louisville looking like they'll get possession to begin this man advantage. Graham Jacobs at the near half boards, flicked one in front, went off his own man Levin, grabs it, wrapped it around the far wing. It's going to escape out of the zone as Lane couldn't grab it. And Hester now have to reset with Josh Taylor in his kitchen. A nice backhand pass through center. Levin couldn't knock it down out of midair though, so Platt will send it the other way. And that'll be a nice kill there at the moment for the Blue Demons as they were able to get rid of the first 30 seconds here of this man advantage for Louisville. Here's Lane galloping through center. Got it into the far corner of the DePaul zone. Platt defending on him. Here's Lane. Back up high. Gadecki has a lane to shoot, but fumbled it at his skates. Still onside as Lane will come there to help him out. John Lane has Gadecki in the slot. Can't get it to him quite yet. Dances down low on his backhand. Centered a shot by Levin. Shut down there by Hetman point blank. And he will hold it for a whistle. So 63 seconds to go here on the penalty to Salvegi for the trip. That was probably the best chance Louisville's had of the game, right on top of the blue paint. And Hetman there doing a good job to cut that off. Standing in at 6 foot in that blue paint, 154 pounds. Played for a lot of teams as I got about through half of them. He also went up to Canada, played for the Seaforth Generals, the Texas Roadrunners, the El Paso Rhinos. He's been around the block here. And is certainly a good goaltender. And here's a steal. Michael Fortune looking for his 5th goal in 5 periods. On a short-handed breakaway with the backhander shut down by A.J. Cooper. Michael Fortune's been an absolute dog. Worked it himself out in front of save. Rebounded. It went off the side of the net. Cooper tried to dive on it. And he'll do just that. So Michael Fortune, an individual effort here, going to get credited with a few shots on goal there. And Cooper able to keep it out and keep his team in it. So face-off coming up to his left now. 43 seconds left to kill still for DePaul on this Louisville power play. As it's an O-zone draw, short-handed at the moment. Verlinski able to win it back. Here's DeJulio. DeJulio, a nice decision to just play it back, and Fortune will kill a little bit more clock. So they kind of play a bit of keep away here. The puck flung into the near corner. Verlinski will get after there first in the Louisville zone for DePaul. Goes from the near side to the far. Blank delivered a check into the boards against him. Puck out the center where there was Melandra trying to feed it around to Hester. Now the puck resides at the logo. Blank will pick it up. Ironically, with no name on the back of his jersey, just a number fitting for the last name. Hester will play it around now. So it's down to Blank in the far corner. Final 6 of the power play. In front, Melandra couldn't hold the feed from Blank. As now the sticks are tapping at the other end of the ice to signify the end of this penalty. Out of the box is Salvaggi. And onto the ice comes Jager Zimmerman. Puck, meanwhile, at the far circle of the DePaul zone. Blank looking for a lane. Got it in front, but it bounced through the slot past Proctor. And now it's played up the near boards and back out the center by DePaul. So right in front of me here, down low from almost an impossible angle. Zimmerman will pick it up. Got into the Louisville zone. Danced out in front on top of the blue paint. Lost the puck and able to get back on it was Gadecki. Is now Zimmerman here. Beef it on top of the blue paint with a Cardinal as a penalty will come up on him. Looks like that was Austin Hester down there who got roughed around. And now it's going to be Zimmerman or perhaps Hester getting called here for the call. All I saw when I saw the altercation was Zimmerman on top of Hester, but it looks like he was the instigator. So he's going to get called for a hold, and he's going to sit for 2 minutes. And the Blue Demons, who were already 1-for-1 on the power play today, are going to get their second opportunity. So the second unit will hop on the ice. They're the ones who scored the power play goal. Zizas, Zork, and Zimmerman, as well as DeJulio and McMaster. So face off to A.J. Cooper's right. Blank got tied up with Zizas, but DePaul gets the draw. Zork near wall, played it straight away to Julio. Goes across Zimmerman, returns the pass in the slot to the near circle. Zork, a ripper and a blocker save made there by Cooper. Puck to the far wall. Up high, it's DeJulio. Back this way, Zork tried to give it to Zizas in the bumper, but it went over to Zimmerman. Back up high at the point again. DeJulio. Back to Zimmerman. Far circle. Puts on the brakes. Fed Zork has a shot and a good shoulder save there by Cooper. Puck cleared up the far wing, but not out by Jacobs. Kept alive by Zimmerman. First 30 seconds gone by on the power play. Zimmerman had a shot there. Go wide up to the near side. Be grabbed by DeJulio near point. Here's DeJulio. Luis to Jager. Zimmerman put it right in the skates of 77 Jack Blank, but gets the puck right back. So we're down to the final 70 of the power play. Zimmerman doing a good job to get set up here are the Blue Demons. Haven't seen too much of a cycle game in either of these two games. Have one here. Zimmerman let a one-timer go high and wide to the near side. Bounced off the glass to Zork. Put it behind. Centering pass from McMaster to Zimmerman's shot. It'll be swallowed up by Cooper. So 54 seconds to go on the penalty to Hester, who's got his head hung down low in the penalty box. And there's under 8 minutes now to go in the second period, 7:59. So no goals yet here in this middle frame. Still going off the 2-0 score from period 1 in favor of DePaul. Michael Fortune with Nathan Zork. Again, I want to thank all of you listening in here on the DePaul Hockey Network. Second of many. And if you tuned in yesterday, again, we apologize for the inconveniences with the technical nonsense as it's preseason, quote unquote, for everybody. So here's Aarons off the draw. Goes across, down low to be played by Taylor. Banked towards Martirano off the end boards. Couldn't quite get a whack on that. And now it's cleared the other way by Louisville. Proctor getting after it. Could be a shorthanded breakaway. A good defensive stick by Kulikowski. Cut that off. Now he banked it in! Whit Proctor banks it in off of the back of Max Hetman. And a shorty cuts the DePaul lead in half. Louisville's made it a 2-1 game. So Whit Proctor's second goal of this back-to-back series here in DePaul. Had 2 assists in 14 games last year. Now has 2 goals in 2 games so far in this series. And overall 4 games on the season. Played 2 years for Lyons Township High School here in Illinois, being from LaGrange Park. Scored 12 goals, 4 assists in 20 games in 21-22. Had 46 points in 26 games in 23-24. 26 goals, 20 assists. Kid's a good player. Now getting the opportunity to shine here on this Louisville team. There's a shot here with 20 seconds to go on this DePaul power play. Ends up deflecting out of play after Martirano shot it. So 7:24 to go here in this second period. It's a 1-goal game now, as this is the closest these games have been so far for the Cardinals in 4 games this year. Martirano and against Blank on this draw. Blank pulled it to the boards, but Kulikowski got it. As now it's going to be sent back his way, but it goes down low, and now Fortune will have to deal with it. On his backhand, spinning to the 4 on the near half boards, put it behind the Louisville goal line. Puck to the far corner where Kulikowski digs it out. A.J. Kulikowski, a tough angle rising shot, ends up going up and out of play. So face-off should stay here inside the Cardinal zone as the penalty time is now up. Hester out of the box after that whistle, but he'll go to the bench, and it'll be Nicholas Nymphius joining in on defense with his partner Trace Gadecki on the back end. So back to 5-on-5 we go. DePaul now 1 for 2 on their man advantage, and they allowed a shorty on that power play to the sophomore from Louisville, Whit Proctor. You got the signal here from the lead official to go ahead and continue on here. So the linesman gets set to drop the puck, and DePaul wins the draw. Quick shot right away, in and out of the glove of Cooper it goes, and Louisville able to whack it up the near side and out the center. Ocheka will launch it back in, gloved by Cooper. He says, "I'll hold," and he does just that. So A.J. Cooper stopped everything he's seen thus far in period 2. As I mentioned in the open, if you were able to hear me yesterday during game number 1, the opener of this 2-game set, he was sensational, to be honest. He made a lot of good saves. It's hard when your team only has 11 skaters and you start to get winded as the game goes on. Cooper, it's been terrific for the Cardinals, in my opinion. Spent 3 years with the Tri-State Spartans, born in just outside of Louisville, Goshton. As now he saw a shot deflect here off the faceoff, go off a Cardinal leg to the far corner as it chips back up to the point, thrown back his way off the stick of Cheka, and he'll swallow that one up on his right side for another whistle. So the Blue Demons going to get a fresh set of legs back out here on the ice, as they'll go ahead and go with Salvegi, as well as Verlinski and Liam Pepper. Next time the Blue Demons are on home ice will be the 19th and 20th against St. Norbert's. That'll be here with Dylan Ward and Chris Dubiel on the DePaul Hockey Network. Look forward to listening in to them next weekend. Here's DeJulio, near circle, fed it across. Unable to hold the feed was Liam Pepper. Pepper tried to spin it back in front through the slot. Comes in Louisville's possession. Pass out of the reach of Melandro. Go down the ice. It's going to be an icing. And a whistle here at 6:16 to go in the second period as we started to come to a screeching halt here in terms of pace of play. So another icing here on Louisville, obviously. Will have them keep their lines back out there. Whit Proctor skating by his own bench, getting word from the coaching staff as to perhaps what they want him to do off this face-off. And he'll step in now against Verlinski. Face-off one, pulled ahead, but kept in by the Blue Demons. Aarons, DeJulio, one-timer, right pad save made by Cooper, back on the far half boards. Here's Salvegi, a shot, paddled down again by Cooper. Puck still alive in the O zone for the Blue Demons. Aarons trying to skate with it to the far corner. Again, he gets active as a defenseman. Back up high he goes, covering for him at the points, Pepper. Now Pepper will stay there as Aarons goes back down low, trying to grab that puck, but Nymphius able to whack it away from him, and down the ice it'll go, rolling on edge. And DeJulio, with Proctor in his area, played it to the near wing. Back to center it'll go. Louisville can't grab it as it's sent back deep on a twisting backhand by Verlinski. And now the Cardinals Proctor again be met by Verlinski at the near half boards as a 4-man board battle ensues. Puck squirts free. Near point, it's DeJulio. Goes across Cheka in the slot. Pepper, one-timer, blocked in front there by Reno. And now here come the Cardinals. Could be a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Up the near wings lane. Has Proctor with them. Trying a shot. Blocked by DeJulio. Good defensive job there by the Blue Demon. Now at the near wing, it's sent back down low by Reno. Proctor had to go off his leg. Turnaround shot. Jacobs went wide to the far side. So that missed on the blocker side of Hetman. DePaul back with possession here. Under 5 minutes to play in period number 2. Still 2-1 DePaul as Pepper up the near wing over the line, trying a shot that went off of Reno's leg. And now it passed through the legs of Lane. He'll grab it anyway off the near boards, and he'll head into the DePaul zone. Dropped it for Jacobs. Puck was at his feet. Got past the defender. Threw it in front. And no signal from the official yet. It looked like it could have went in. And it looks like they're going to call a stoppage and a face-off here at the near circle. There was room just inside of that far post. It looked like it was close to going in. Trickled right through the blue paint and just missed that post. So Louisville keeping the same group of skaters out here on the ice. Trace Gadecki will join in on the back end, as well as Austin Hester. And Gadecki has the puck now off a face-off win. Little snapper deflected off a lane towards the goal, but went off a Blue Demon to the near wall. Here's Blank. Tough angle shot. Oh, and that was a close one. There was room on the 5-hole, but Hetman able to keep it out. Lane juggling it soccer style, able to knock it back down to his stick. Flipped it up ahead over the line. Platt will send it back to center. Could be an odd man rush for the Blue Demons. A nice pass finds Zork, but he fumbled it as he was entering the Louisville zone. Delayed offsides caused a bit of a delay. Delayed offsides as Zimmerman had to touch up, but back in comes Zork. Zork near wing, tried to center it for Zimmerman, but the pass went awry and went to Zizas. Now Zimmerman trying to keep with it. Lane in his kitchen as well as Gadecki. Puck at his skates, gets it, shot it, save made, rebound loose in front and unable to locate it with Zizas. So he got his stick lifted not once but twice by Austin Hester. Hester not with it now. Little fake move in behind, able to elude Zimmerman at the moment. Those two tangled up, but Gadecki with the puck can't clear. Played back down low by Aarons, who took a bit of a bump. Puck came to Gadecki, sent it on out to center, and here's Lane. Lane with room on the left wing, just threw it towards the net, missed way wide to the far side. Rides up the wing now out towards the blue line, kept alive by the Cardinals. Blank down low, looking for a return pass, couldn't quite hold the feed, as in the way was Joe Aarons. Joe Aarons now, as I mentioned plenty of times before, joining the rush as a defenseman. But it looks like a penalty perhaps coming up here on the Cardinals as the referee signaled interference. And it looks like Trace Gadecki's going to go take a seat. So Trace Gadecki, his favorite team, the St. Louis Blues, perhaps. If you're from Chicago thinking he's playing a bit of St. Louis Blues hockey, or it looks like Melandra might be the one going to the box, and it will be, as it looked like 25 was heading that way for a second, but 61 will go take a seat. Patrick Melandra, the freshman out of McKeesport, Pennsylvania. Celebrated a birthday last Saturday, just turned 19 years old. Played high school hockey for Elizabeth Forward High for 4 years. Now here as a freshman in Louisville. Takes the seat for 2 minutes. 3:10 left in the second period of play. 2-1 DePaul as they look to extend their lead here and get that 2-goal lead back. Again, my name's Jarek Rubel. Glad you're hanging out with me on the DePaul Hockey Network, flying solo. Today, had my good buddy Michael Doherty with me yesterday as we had fun calling the game. If you guys were able to hear it, I know there were audio issues, but good partner to work with. Had a lot of fun working with him as the whole staff here at DePaul, full of a bunch of lovely human beings. So now at the scorer's table, the officials trying to sort something out as there were 2 penalties on the clock, but now just down to 1, as I think they're just trying to sort the technology out there at the timekeeper's table and make sure everything's properly put up on the scoreboard in the arena. So power play to DePaul. They're 1 for 2 tonight. They gave up a shorty in this period to Whit Proctor. They get possession off the ensuing faceoff and look to get set up. Here's Aarons. Aarons muscling it towards the net, went wide to the blocker side off the end boards. Now Josh Taylor trying to get free Proctor. Big size difference between the two in the area. Knocked him off the puck, but it's kept in. Played to the near corner, Martirano. He scooped back up by Fortune. Fortune gets a return pass from Aarons. Goes right back to Aarons. Looking for a lane. Goes to the far wing, Taylor. Taylor to Martirano in the bumper, and now it found Kulikowski with a turnaround shot. Dealt with by Cooper. Back up high, here's Aarons. 35 seconds gone by on the power play. It's Kulikowski from the bumper. Shot one towards Cooper, and that deflects off a stick and out of play. Now 80 seconds left on this DePaul power play, and 2:30 left in the middle frame. Again, 2-1. The Blue Demons lead it courtesy goals by Michael Fortune and Nathan Zork. Zork's coming on the power play. So face off up to Cooper's right now. It'll be won by the Blue Demons. Aarons has room to shoot right away. He'll bring it in a good block there by Atkins. Knocked the puck back to the red line at center on the near wing. Aarons will bring it back in, shielding on his backhand. Put on the brakes at the near circle. Tried to send it across. Found Taylor and a shot. A good shoulder save on the short side by Cooper. With some burrowing along the far boards. Puck rides up to Aarons at the far point. And this way, Martirano has room to shoot again. Snared out of the air by Cooper, who flashes some leather. So 2:04 left now in the second. 54 to go on the power play for DePaul on the penalty for interference issued out to Louisville's Patrick Melandra. So Zizas will step in here against Jack Blank. And late on a line change moving his way in here will be Sam Levin. Sam Levin from Palatine, Illinois. Also plays lacrosse, a tough customer when it comes to sports, as he was involved in some good action yesterday. Louisville able to knock that puck out of the zone and get a little bit of a clear here as we're down to 40 seconds left and under 2 minutes on this DePaul man advantage. Here's Zimmerman up the far wing. Got past Jacobs, has room into the Louisville zone. Tried a shot blocked off the stick of Gadecki and out of play into the meshing. That puck goes. So the trio of Zizas, Zimmerman, and Zork out there on the ice still. McMaster and DeJulio also out there joining them as well. This was the unit that converted for the power play goal in period one. As Zork put one towards the net, deflected through the slot, came up high to Zimmerman. Zimmerman for DeJulio, one-timer, knocked the stick right out of the hands there of Blank. Staying onside was DeJulio. That puck didn't leave the blue line, and now Zimmerman will give it back. Right back to Jager Zimmerman. Threw it towards the net, went off the Louisville skate. They can't clear as Jacobs didn't get a lot on it. Near wing at Zork. Back to DeJulio. Far circle. As penalty time expires, Zimmerman with it, working to the slot. Tried a shot, save made, paddled up in the air by Cooper. Kept alive now by Zimmerman. Back to 5-on-5 we go. Zimmerman at the near circle with 1 minute now remaining. In the middle frame, threw it towards the goal, deflected, save Cooper. He's out of position, a bank shot perhaps, and it stays out. And a whistle will come. So a successful PK here for the Louisville Cardinals. They're 2 for 2 this period. Is now DePaul now 1 for 3 on the man advantage so far here tonight. Tonight, it's a weird time. We're starting to get into the late evening hours after 5 p.m. here Central Time. Go with today, though. It's 80 degrees outside. It's sunny. It was rainy earlier, but it's a nice day today here on the near west side. Face off to the left of Cooper, won by DePaul. Platt had a shot go off the leg of Proctor. And now here comes Louisville's Belanger with some fresh legs coming out of the penalty box, but it'll be a delayed offsides on the Cardinals if they were to touch it. And now DePaul's back out the center. It'll be Zimmerman, or Fortune, I should say, sending it down into the Louisville side of the ice, down to the final half minute here of period two. Behind the Louisville goal. Trying to hit Fortune with the pass was Martirano, couldn't. Now bodies collide here at the near circle, but the puck comes free to Melanger, and he's ahead with Proctor. Proctor now going after a puck, but Melanger just put it right on net. So it'll end up being soaked up by Hetman there, and he'll elect to take a whistle with 16 5/10 of a second remaining in the second period. So the lone goal so far this period, again, a shorthanded goal belonging to Whit Proctor, the LaGrange Park native. He scored the lone 2 Louisville goals so far in these 2 games. John Lane got the lone goal in the 2 games against Michigan up in Ann Arbor last weekend. As now we're down to the final 10 after that face-off win, and now here comes DePaul with a chance to extend their lead before the horn. Martirano is shot and a blocker save made by Cooper. 2 seconds and 1, and that will send us into the second intermission with DePaul still clinging on to a 2-1 lead over the Louisville Cardinals. A much better period for the Louisville side as they were able to pepper Max Hetman quite a bit, and they were able to get one past him thanks to Whit Proctor, short-handed. So 2-1, DePaul leads it heading into the final frame here at Johnny's Ice House as you're listening to DePaul Hockey with Jarek Rubel right here on the DePaul Hockey Network live on YouTube. Back in a few minutes for the final frame. and welcome back into Johnny's Ice House West in Chicago, where the Blue Demons, through 40 minutes, carry a 2-1 lead into the final frame against the Louisville Cardinals. Jared Grubel here with you on the DePaul Hockey Network, live on YouTube. Glad you're spending your Saturday afternoon here with all of us, as it was Whit Proctor of Louisville, the lone goal in that second period, shorthanded for the Cardinals. As right away, Taylor off the opening faceoff rips one past the goaltender Cooper. And 7 seconds in to the third period, DePaul now has their 2-goal lead back. So Josh Taylor, it's his third goal of the season. And he led the team in points last year with 9 goals and 16 assists, tallying up to 25 total. And he gets his third on the young campaign already in the second game. So 3-1, DePaul leads it now here, scoring just 7 seconds into period number 3, beating Cooper to the blocker side. So that 2-goal advantage has been regained. And we'll see if they can add to it here as they look to put the gas on here to close this one out on a high note. So puck into the far corner of the Louisville zone. It'll be flung towards the net off the stick there of Michael Fortune. And that'll be swallowed up by Cooper for the first proper whistle of the third period. So recap of today's scoring real quick, making it 1-0 DePaul. Early in period number 1 was Michael Fortune with his 4th goal of the season and just his 4th period of play, already matching his season total from a year ago. And Nathan Zork on the power play for his first of the year. Both of his Blue Demon goals have come with the man advantage. As off a draw here, Taylor with a quick shot. Blocked away by Cooper. Now it came back through the slot. Fortune keeping it in. Flung it towards the net. Deflected. Knuckle puck style. Came back to Taylor. Side of the net. Martirano fanned on an open cage. As now he tries to bank it in off the shoulder of Cooper. Could not. And it'll be played back up ahead on the near side and not out. Taylor whacked it back to the near corner. Martirano tried to feed Fortune in front. Couldn't connect. And now here's an odd man rush for Louisville the other way. 2 men back for DePaul now. As making a change and hopping on Chayka. Driving to the goal was Lane. Couldn't get it on target. And now behind the cage, it'll be Taylor, slowing things down a bit and getting restarted here for DePaul. A pass up ahead, deflected off Fortune, came right to Raynon, though, of the Cardinals. And now a good stick by Martirano puts Louisville back in their own zone. Now some fresh legs hopping over the boards here for the Blue Demons. It's the line of McMaster, or I should say Zimmerman, Zizas, and Zork hopping over the boards, beg your pardon. As now a new trio's out there for the team in black. Marco Chayka with it, the defenseman in the near corner. Played it ahead for Zimmerman, fumbled it, but is able to stay with it as Proctor, the only goal scorer for Louisville, couldn't find it. As now Zimmerman over the line with Zork. Zimmerman button hooking at the far circle on his backhand protecting. Cut his way to the slot. Zizas touch pass near side for Zork. Zork a shot swallowed up there by Cooper for a whistle. 2 minutes, 5 seconds in to the third period. So 3-1 DePaul. Again, the goals by Fortune, Zork, and Taylor. The first 2 coming in the opening period. The latest one coming here 7 seconds in to period number 3. Taylor, his 3rd of the season. And of course, Whit Proctor, the lone goal, was shorthanded for the Cardinals last period. Off a face-off win by Zizas. A little quick trigger pull by Zimmerman was swallowed up again by Cooper. So we'll get a nice face-off right where we had one about 10 seconds ago. Again, my name's Jared Grubel. Glad you're joining me this afternoon. Be back with you on October 3rd when DePaul takes on Roosevelt University right here at Johnny's Ice House West. As Zimmerman made a nice move past Proctor. Driving, he scores! Jager Zimmerman, little shake and bake move past Whit Proctor and able to beat Cooper under the glove. And it's 4-1 DePaul. The Jager Zimmerman, the rookie here, able to get his first of the season. Had 17 goals, 19 assists, and 36 points in 28 games last year, playing high school hockey at Mankato West High School from Mankato, Minnesota. So Zimmerman, with his first in a Blue Demon sweater, able to extend the lead to 4-1. And now DePaul is in control here in the final 17 and a half minutes of the game. Here they come again. A quick shot came off the blade of Zort, got blocked down in front by Hester. He'll lead it up ahead for Graham Jacobs. Jacobs trying to get past the pair of black sweaters, could not. Verlinski able to whack one while falling back out the center. Here's Gadecki for the Cardinals, flipping it back around to the DePaul end, and it'll be Wenkel now in behind. 2 assists yesterday, no points so far today. As now Zizas through center, we'll find Verlinski crisscrossing with Kulikowski into the zone. To the far corner, poked behind. A.J. Kulikowski trying to stuff it home from a tough angle, lost it, backhand try in front, shut down off of McMaster by Cooper, and then the puck will trickle back to him for a whistle. So Kulikowski, McMaster out here without Garrick Smith, as it looks like it's been Verlinski joining him here outside of his regular fourth line duties. Again, Garrick Smith tossed from the game for a game misconduct for a big hit he delivered on Austin Hester in the first period. Off the draw, DeJulio had a shot, got blocked by his own man Kulikowski in the slot, and we sent back down low for Kulikowski to find, but instead got taken away by Adkins of the Cardinals. Back to the red line it goes, and now right in front of me here, Levin, heavy collision with Verlinski as the Cardinals play it back to center, but right on the blade of DeJulio. And DeJulio backhanded in as he took a bump from Levin in front of the Cardinal bench. Now in behind, taking it away from Renaud was Verlinski. Tried to center it in front. Kulikowski, a tip, got knocked from behind. That'll be a penalty coming up. Meanwhile, DePaul still with possession at the moment. Now the whistle will go. So the call is going to be a cross-check here. And the Blue Demons will go back to the power play for the 4th time today. They're 1 for 3 thus far with the man advantage. So it'll be Josh Atkins taking a seat for Louisville, sophomore defenseman. He is a Chicago Blackhawks fan, 19 years old, played last year. Just one game, and funny enough, it came against these DePaul Blue Demons. It's his 2nd year with the Cardinals program. He'll take a seat at the moment as he gets a word from his coach through the glass. So the top power play unit still on the ice here, up 3 goals for the DePaul Blue Demons. Martirano, Fortune, and Taylor. But Kulikowski and Aarons, they win the draw, and this power play is underway. So Aarons to Taylor. Tried to go back door, and a shot by Martirano went off the side of the net. And I think it came off its moorings, the net did, and that is indeed what the whistle is for. So 11 seconds elapsed here on the penalty issued out to Atkins. As the faceoff will look like it'll be to the right of Cooper here, and the faceoff circle to our left. Martirano in there for the draw against Graham Jacobs. 2 righties. As the linesman drops the biscuit, the Blue Demons get control. And Aarons will defer to Kulikowski, working his way to the slot. Tried a shot. Blocker save made there by Cooper. Rebound in behind. There's Kulikowski. Now a penalty coming up again. Here is the whistle went with the Blue Demons in possession. And I think Fortune might be the one getting tagged here. Now the referee's back was turned when that... It was interference getting called. I wasn't sure if he was calling a hold or what, but interference was the call as our lovely timekeeper here announced to the arena. So we'll go to 4-on-4 here for the 3rd time this weekend, as nobody was able to come up with any scoring, 4 skaters aside last game. We did see Louisville take a penalty during it that led to the Josh Taylor 4-on-3 power play goal. And now we're back underway. Off the draw, Lane, a high ripper, went off the glass. Is now on the far wing. Graham Jacobs can't keep it in the zone, so Louisville forced to touch up and reset. We're 4-on-4 here for another minute 25 seconds. Is into the DePaul zone. Platt trying to pry it free, found Taylor. Goes this way to Chayka. Chayka sidesteps the defender Lane. Got it on the near side. Martirano onside. Martirano trying to cut to the slot. Lost it. Chayka trying to keep it in. Can't. Now it's poked back to center by Jacobs. He won't get a step on it. Taylor will get to it first for DePaul. Up ahead, Chayka tipped it at the red line. No icing, says the linesman. And Cooper out of his net to play it for the Cardinals. So Louisville looking to start a breakout here. Up the near wing, an errant pass ended up slow rolling towards Proctor, but he deferred back now to Lane. Now gets it with some speed through center. Over the DePaul blue line, cut into the slots. Proctor lost it. Renaud has it on his backhand at the far circle. Backhanded it towards Hetman, and a save is made there by the Blue Demon netminder. So here are the Cardinals. Proctor trying a shot going off of Seth Platt. Got blocked and came up high to the point. Gadecki put it in the skates of Proctor. He'll just shovel it down low. So now Melanger tried to feed it in front, but a couple of black sweaters there to take it away. And now Taylor flipped it out the center. 16 seconds left here on the 4-on-4, and then Atkins will be out of the box for the Cardinals. There's another penalty's coming up here for interference on the Blue Demons. A Cardinal got taken down in front of the Louisville bench. So the net now empty as Cooper has the extra attacker get on the ice. So at the moment, it's 6-on-4 for the Louisville Cardinals. 17 seconds left on the initial penalty to the Blue Demons, as now Jacobs through center lost the biscuit, and Zizas will touch up, and the whistle will go. So for the second time in this game, a 5-on-3 for just a few seconds will begin for the Louisville Cardinals. It'll be 11 seconds of 5-on-3 time, as the penalty once again is going to be an interference call. And Michael Fortune getting ready to hop out of the box here in 11 seconds and join the PK. So face-off coming up here to the left of Hetman. Didn't quite get a number as to who that was in the penalty box. I beg your pardon on that. But DePaul here, shorthanded two men for a couple of seconds, and a pass right towards the front by Hester, or Atkins, I should say, didn't quite make it to the net. And now out of the box comes Fortune. 5-on-4 power play here for the Louisville Cardinals. They're 0 for 4 so far tonight. So it was an interference call, says the PA announcer. And now shorthanded come the Blue Demons. Zizas, a high rising shot there that went over the glove of Cooper and got the glass. Now Hester resets here with his mate Atkins behind the Louisville goal line. We're through 6 3/4 here in this third period. 4-1 in favor of the Blue Demons, as Hester has a shorthanded bid here and just missed a shot to the glove side of the goaltender Cooper. 3-on-2, perhaps 4-on-2 if the Cardinals hurry. Up the far wings, Atkins. Atkins being boxed out nicely there by Aarons, forced to the far boards. Now down on his wallet is Atkins, as the puck, of course, finds him. And that allows Aarons to grab it. Played up ahead, and here's a shorthanded breakaway from McMaster from the red line in. McMaster shooting in a right pad save made by Cooper, as he stopped plenty of breakaways in this series so far. He let one past him, Fortune, yesterday, but he has faced 4 or 5 breakaway opportunities and has made a few dandy stops one-on-one. And on to the final half minute now of the Louisville power play. Is behind the DePaul goal. The puck got wrapped around all the way up to the far point where Gadecki will locate it. Now at the far circle, Proctor just flung it towards the net, blocked away. Aarons came back to Proctor, and he can't quite settle it down to get a clean shot off, so he skates behind the cage. Shielding on his backhand, dumped it down low. Aarons trying to cut that off, took a body from Melandra. So the puck rides back behind the DePaul cage. Chayka now, just trying to pin it and kill some clock. 2 seconds and 1. And now out of the box comes Martirano, is the one who took the penalty for the Blue Demons, as he heads right to the bench. So back to 5-on-5 we go in the final 11:50 of regulation time. 4-1 in favor of DePaul. Now a turnover from Verlinski, put it on Renone's blade at center. Here's Lane fumbling down Main Street in the slot. Tried a shot, and that soaked up in the breadbasket by Max Hetman. So Louisville getting some fresh bodies back on the ice, as the faceoff will come up here to the right of Max Hetman. So they got a unit of Lane, Jacobs, Gadecki, Nymphius, and Atkins on the ice here. Now, Atkins late joining into the play, but they dropped the puck anyway. DePaul wins the faceoff. So luckily for Louisville, they didn't win it cleanly, and it came right out of the zone as it was sent all the way down. Now, Pepper trying to get caught on a stretch pass for a breakaway opportunity, but there's too much pepper on that pass, one might say, and it went all the way down, but no icing. Here's DeJulio. Played it this way, and it'll be moved back up ahead by Platt. Pepper into the zone. 2-on-1 with Salvegi. Salvegi crisscrosses with Pepper, trying to get free, but can't. Nymphius defended him nicely. Puck came in front. Now taken back away by Pepper. Up high DeJulio. Back to Pepper at the near dot. Sent it across. There's a shot. Zork put it up high, and that might have been blocked as well. Now Salvegi, a try, got saved by Cooper. Rebound to the far corner. So burrowing away at it in the far boards was DePaul to come away with it. Pepper got a return pass from Aarons. Sent it this way. Zork had it out of his reach as he wasn't ready for the pass. Now sent it back down low for Salvegi. Salvegi behind the goal. Pepper took a bump there from Gadecki. Puck loose out in front now, and Jacobs will take it away for the Cardinals. Jacobs stripped it there as Martirano picked his pocket. Now loose puck back at the logo. Aarons will send it back this way, and Salvegi will kitty corner it into the far corner. So Louisville back on it behind their own net. Forecheck here by Martirano. Almost forced a turnover. And now it'll be sent up the near wing by Hester, but right on the blade of Seth Platt, the ex-Oregon Duck. Lost it, but there to help us Martirano. And in front now is going to be Taylor, leaving it. Martirano is shot, and it trickles through! Tony Martirano gets his first of the season. And the Blue Demons, with a 3 spot here in period 3, they now lead it 5-1. So Tony Martirano had 4 goals, 17 assists, and 21 points last year. Gets his first of the season this campaign. The 20-year-old out of Hinsdale, Illinois, went to Hinsdale High School, had 21 goals and 22 assists in his final high school season there. Gets his first of the 25-26 campaign there with a little squeaker through A.J. Cooper. So 5-1 DePaul leads it halfway through this third period, down to the final 10 of this hockey game, as the Blue Demons here have scored 14 goals so far against the Louisville Cardinals. So here's Hester trying to play it deep. It ran right into Michael Fortune. They whack with one another here on the near wing right below me, as Hester really giving it to Fortune right in front. They're still tangled up with one another. Meanwhile, the puck in front of the Louisville bench comes free to Josh Taylor, centered in the slot. Fortune trying to get a shot through, and it's snared out of the air by Cooper for a whistle. So 9:27 to go. 5-1 in favor of the Blue Demons. Jarek Rubel joining you guys here on the DePaul Hockey Network. Again, these guys will be in action next week against St. Norbert here at Johnny's Ice House West. Be a different broadcast crew, however, as it'll be Dylan Ward with Chris Dubiel on the call on Friday night, and then Dubiel will be doing it all alone on Saturday afternoon against St. Norbert. So look forward to hearing what they got here on the DePaul Hockey Network. Again, like I said, everyone here, absolutely lovely people. Enjoyed working with everyone already through the first 2 days here. So through center, Zimmerman played it over the Louisville line. Zork looking for his second, put it down low on the ice, but it went wide to the far side. And now Whit Proctor played it across, and here comes Big John Lane, 6'1" from Lamont, Illinois. Lost it, and now it came over to Aarons now. Was Joe Aarons saucered one on the blade of Zimmerman, dragged it through his legs nicely, and got a step on Melandra into the Louisville zone. Here's Zimmerman with space in the slot, trying to shot it. A beautiful glove save is made by Cooper as he falls on his wallet, and he keeps it a 5-1 game. Jaeger Zimmerman did a great job to knock a puck down and neutralize, drag it through his legs, and shake free of Melandra, who was all on his tail, and generated a wonderful scoring chance from the slot. So Zimmerman, one of the goal scorers here today, scored the 4th goal of the game in this period for the Blue Demons. Almost got his second there. Now off the draw, the Gala's shot knocked down by McMaster as it deflected to the near corner. Rolls around now to the far side. McMaster back on it behind the goal line. On his backhand, looking for somewhere to go as he parks on the far half board. Centered in, DeJulio had a shot that went wide to the blocker side past the near post. And now Louisville has iced the biscuit here. And a whistle. So 8:21 left in this third period in this game. Unless Louisville could find a crazy comeback within themselves here to get 4 past Max Hetman and get it equalized. So again, Kyle Tishkovich last night only let 1 past him so far. The same goes for Max Hetman. So a good start to the season for the DePaul netminders. As there's also Diego Condi Espinoza, who's the 3rd string, wearing double zeros. Played a lot for DePaul last year. 6'9", 0-1 with a 3.84 goals against and an .895 save percentage. So some goaltending depth here on the near west side for the Blue Demons. So in between the penalty boxes, Pepper will send it down the ice after he crosses the red line. Cooper out of his net to play it, rug it around off the stanchion up to the far point. It'll be played back down low by Dougella to Pepper. Pepper here out of the far corner, up high to DeJulio. Long flip shot went wide to the blocker's side. Bounced off the back of the net. Now a stoppage here. And the trailing official has called a cross-checking penalty. And we'll see who it's on. It's going to be Louisville. And it looks like Sam Levin is going to go ahead and take a squat in the sin bin. So another power play coming up here for the Blue Demons. They are 1 for 4 thus far. And we'll see if they can capitalize here with a second power play goal. Again, the only power play goal so far belonging to Nathan Zork. Josh Taylor, the lone power play goal scorer a game ago. So Martirano out there for the draw against Proctor. Proctor able to win it. Puck immediately goes out of play as it deflected off a Blue Demon stick and hits the meshing. Faceoff will stay inside, though, here to the right of Cooper. We're sharing a couple words with Michael Fortune. Don't know if they're pleasant or if they're the opposite. But off the draw, Fortune got it, played it back to Aarons. Goes across to Taylor. Long flip shot deflected off of a Louisville stick. That's Atkins. And hits the meshing again. Out of play. So a minute 50 to go. Minute 49 now to go on the penalty. There's the second randomly elapsed there on the penalty time. 7:34 to go in this hockey game. So off the draw, Martirano wins it to the back. It's Taylor. This way it goes Aarons, nears faceoff circle. Played it up high, Martirano straight away. Touched it across to Taylor. Looking for a return, got it. Martirano, a long snapshot, hit a body out in front. Came in the slot for Gadecki to clear. And he'll launch the puck down the ice. So Hetman out of his net to grab it there. As he'll look for his defenseman Joe Aarons as a power play breakout set to begin for DePaul. Chipped up ahead. Martirano got it to Kulikowski. Glides over the Louisville line. Dropped it. Martirano gave it back. Back in front. A tip shot. Did it go in? No, says the official. He waved it off. As that was a nifty play there that could have been buried by Martirano. But it stays 5-1. Down to the final 65 of the power play after the penalty was taken by Sam Levin of the Louisville Cardinals. As Taylor back in over the Louisville line. A little bit of help from Aarons there, kept Kulikowski onside. Is now at the near circles, Martirano. Tried a shot short side, blockered away there by Cooper. Back on the near wall, up high it comes to Aarons. Joe Aarons looking for a lane. Cuts to the inside of the near face-off circle, button hooks and defers up high to Martirano. Sees a lane, took it, and a tip there, came out in front and a rebound score! A.J. Kulikowski. And for the second straight game, the Blue Demons have scored a touchdown. So a power play marker here, the second one of the game for DePaul, and A.J. Kulikowski able to get his first of the season. Last year in a Blue Demon sweater, 5 goals and 2 assists in 28 games, did have a game winner, and he's able to get his first of the campaign. The nice 19-year-old played for the Milwaukee Junior Admirals a couple years ago, as well as the Chicago Bulldogs and Glenbrook South High School. So number 81, A.J. Kulikowski joins the goal parade. That's now 15 goals this weekend for the Blue Demons against the Cardinals. So up high, Louisville in the O-zone. Long flip shot towards the net. Didn't make it through. Came to the near corner. Now 3-man scrum forward as the puck squirts free now to Jack Blank. Blank gave it right up to Seth Platt, who got a little bit of help from Pepper as DePaul gets it out of the zone. Under 6 minutes now to go in regulation time. This one all but over. As Louisville giving up 6 goals in this game, gave up 9 a game ago. As again, they just have a short bench. They only have 11 skaters and 1 goalie. So for a D2 club hockey team, you got to give it to these kids for at least wanting to be out there, wanting to play the game of hockey, as you can't help but tip your hockey helmet to this group of guys in white. So Hetman covered up a puck there in front of the blue paint. Under 5.5 remaining as Louisville gets some fresh bodies out on the ice, as it'll be Nymphus in for this draw against Verlinski. Off the tie-up, puck's played to the far boards, and now trying to whack it frees DeJulio. Puck under his skate at the moment, as 5 skaters try and knock this free. Gets picked up by Verlinski. Puck went off the skate of Jacobs of Louisville. Now glides out of the zone. And now it'll be reset here by Atkins, being hounded by Pepper. Almost a takeaway, but it comes in the Blue Demons' possession anyway. Berlinski is shot blocked up high by Atkins. I hit him in the unprotected padding on the knee as he's slow to get up. Not a lot of padding there, believe it or not, sometimes, as a long shot hit Cooper right in the helmet from Berlinski. Second time that's happened in this series as Garrick Smith hit him up high with a shot a game ago. And now Atkins just trying to get to his feet here as he's having a hard time putting pressure on his leg, as there's just some parts of that leg padding around the knee where if it catches you in the right spot, there's just not a lot of protection. And it can put you in a world of hurt. I'll have a nasty bruise on there in the coming days, but again, hockey players are tough. You'll be back out there. Wouldn't even surprise me if it's later this game, even with under 5 minutes to go. So in the near wall, a puck sent back out to center. DeJulio just reset with it for the Blue Demons as he gave it to Jager Zimmerman. Zimmerman with a goal, almost had two so far in this game. He's looked good here today. Tagala played it up ahead. Proctor cut it off and a springboard pass up ahead for John Lane. John Lane generating a breakaway chance and a backhander. Might have rolled on edge. It's loose in front as it's poked away by the Blue Demons. John Lane, a heck of an opportunity. But that puck, again, might have been rolling on edge as he just sent it way too skyward for a backhanded opportunity in that tight. Now here's the centering attempt. They score! Patrick Melandra able to get the second goal of the game for Louisville. And they have 2 goals for the first time in a game this season. So Patrick Melandra, mentioned, played his high school hockey for 4 years at Elizabeth Forward High. Split time last year between there and the Pittsburgh Predators 18 UAA team. Combined for 16 goals and 24 assists in 60 games. Out of McKeesport, Pennsylvania. Again, celebrated a birthday last week, so got to feel good even if it's just 7 days later to tally a goal fresh on a new chapter of his life. So down to the final 4 minutes here. DePaul now leads at 6-2, and Melandra trying to get up again, but could not do anything with it. To the far corner in the DePaul zone, that one goes. It'll be fought for and dug out by Proctor, sent it in the slot, but scooped right up by Aarons. And Aarons, such a smooth skater, glides ahead, flung it right towards Cooper. He'll take it, doesn't want to play it, and a whistle will go. So 3:41 remaining as we approach 6 p.m. Central Time. We're about 57 seconds away from that striking 6 o'clock here in the near west side. As the Blue Demons, 15 goals in 2 games to begin their season. And again, they'll face St. Norbert next week right here on the DePaul Hockey Network. On the near side, off a face-off win. Here's Wenkel. Wenkel towards the net, went off the skates of Austin Hester. Louisville can't clear. Aaron's a shot, knuckling around, deflected to the far corner. Now it'll be Martirano for Taylor. Quick trigger pull. That got sent to the near corner. Might have hit Cooper in front. Now at the near half boards, Louisville. Blank comes away with the puck, went off a leg. Now Martirano tried to toe drag past a man. That was Hester, couldn't. Puck still in the zone momentarily. Here's Taylor. Does keep it in. Played it down low right towards Cooper. And he'll freeze it for another whistle. So down to the final 3:11 of this game. As the goal scorers, once again, Michael Forchik, Nathan Zork, Josh Taylor, Jager Zimmerman, Tony Martirano, and Kulikowski. The goal scorers for Louisville Cardinals, Whit Proctor, shorthanded. And then Patrick Melandra just moments ago at 5-on-5. 2 power play markers for the Blue Demons, Zork and Kulikowski, as they put up touchdowns in back-to-back games this weekend. So out the center come the Cardinals. Here's Jacobs. Jacobs rough-rided into the near boards by Pepper. And Pepper, only 141 pounds, but loves to throw his weight around as he's been very aggressive in the 2 games this season. Is now on the near wing. He has it. Pepper turned it right over to Jacobs, but a penalty coming up here is the officials, despite this one being out of reach, with 2.5 minutes to go. They see him, they call him. And a penalty here is coming up for a high stick on Sam Levin. So Levin will take a seat, and that might have been the lacrosse player coming out of him there, the way he was holding on. So he clipped at the Paul Blue Demon up high. Again, he plays lacrosse from Palatine, Illinois. Played for the Stampede Hockey Club out of Illinois. And the kid cheers for the Buffalo Sabres, as the Sabres this season look to try and break out of the longest playoff drought currently in the National Hockey League. So DePaul back to the power play. 2:30 to go in the game. See if they could add the extra point. DeJulio shot deflected off a stick of Whit Proctor of Louisville and went wide to the glove side of A.J. Cooper. Louisville can't clear. A good keep at the far point. DeJulio sent it this way. Zimmerman, a ripper, went upstairs to the top corner but couldn't quite hit his mark as it came up the far boards and came back now to Zork. Zork let it go down low to McMaster. Try to shake free of Proctor. In front it goes. Zizas can't tip it. It came to Zimmerman. Zimmerman, a shot went up high over the crossbar and got the glass. And now it could be a breakaway chance for the Cardinals as here comes Belanger, shorthanded, looking for the second shorty of the game. Driving it, a beautiful right pad save is made there by Hetman as he was moving to his left, but still got it as the shot came to his right. Now here comes DePaul. Here's McMaster driving, cut to the slot, to the outside, a shot, and a good save by Cooper as that one hit him right on the crest in his chest. And he did offer a rebound, but the whistle went regardless. Now Chelsea Dagger starts to echo here through Johnny's Ice House, just a couple of stoplights away from the United Center, home of the Chicago Blackhawks. They'll get their season started here in just under 4 weeks. They'll start in South Florida against the Panthers. And that's Bennett Raynone's favorite team from the Louisville side. Now here's a loose puck in front on a rebound. They score again. The third power play goal of the game. And DePaul has added the extra point courtesy Markel Salvegi. So Salvegi here getting his first of the campaign. Came a minute, 2 seconds into the man advantage. And we're down to the final 95 seconds of this game. Good for number 12, Marco Salvegi, to get his name on the score sheet. DePaul now up to 16 goals here through the first 2 games of this young campaign. And again, A.J. Cooper, I know he's given up that many goals, but he's made some great saves, as you've seen throughout the course of today's game in that blue paint for the Louisville Cardinals. As he is still one heck of a goalie. So Raynone will dump it back in as we're down to under 70 seconds now to go in this game. Penalty time still on the clock here, but it's 5-on-5 as the scorekeeper hasn't quite fixed that yet. Here's Salvegi back in. Offsides as Pepper as he fell. I don't think he was fully across the blue line. I think they could have maybe let that one slide. But a whistle here with 58 and 9/10 of a second to go here in a game that has been decided for about the last 15 minutes. So face-off will happen here right in front of us. Proctor against McMaster. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in to the broadcast here this afternoon. My name's been Jarek Rubel. I'll be happy to spend more games with you throughout the season. I'll be with you for the game against Roosevelt and the pair of games in October against Boise State as well. Yes, Boise State traveling here all the way from the great state of Idaho. Maybe they'll bring some potatoes with them. Guess I'll find out and ask if it could be a Halloween candy sort of thing when I come here in 4 weeks for that series. As we're down to the final half minute now here from Johnny's Ice House West. So Kulikowski, puck knocked off his blade. Lane trying to locate it. Able to get through a pair of Blue Demons. Not quite the last one, though, as Dogella was the lone black sweater back. He was able to poke it free up ahead. Now down to the final 15. Proctor tried to dump it in, went off a leg, and meanwhile he just creamed right into Nathan Zork, as now the puck came back his way, but eluded him. And now we're down to the final 5. So that'll do it. A 7-2 final here in Game 2 of this quick mini-series against the Louisville Cardinals. And the Blue Demons with 16 goals for and 3 against in their first 2 games this season. What a way to begin the 25-26 campaign. You know, head coach Sean Hammond's happy to see the results from his team in these 2 games. As we'll recap the scoring here in this one as everybody goes to celebrate with their goaltender Max Hetman down to our right. Opening the scoring, making it 1-0 DePaul. Michael Fortune with his 4th goal in 4 periods. He scored 4 all of last year, has 4 goals already. And he opened up the scoring in this one. Nathan Zork, a power play marker to make it 2-0 in the first period. That was all she wrote in period 1. Then Whit Proctor for Louisville with a shorthanded goal. The LaGrange Park native, his second goal of these two games, was able to make it 2-1 with that shorthanded bid. And then 7 seconds into the third period, Josh Taylor scored a ripper, skating right, shooting left past the blocker side of Cooper, and made it 3-1. And DePaul didn't look back from there. Jagger Zimmerman joined in on the fun, as well as Tony Martirano, each of those guys collecting their first goals of the year. That was Taylor's third of the season, might I add. Then Kulikowski with a power play marker, his third, or I should say his first of the season. And then the third power play goal belonging to Marco Salvaghi that capped off the extra point after the touchdown was scored, his first of the campaign as well. And Patrick Melandra also getting one late in the stages of period 3 past Max Hetman for the Louisville Cardinals. A 7-2 final here in this game today. So my name's been Jarek Rubel. I want to thank you all for watching this edition of DePaul Blue Demons Hockey live here on the DePaul Hockey Network. Again, next week, DePaul will be back in action against St. Norbert Friday at 8:30 p.m. It'll be Dylan Ward and Chris Dubiel on the call, as I hope you all look forward to another edition of DePaul Blue Demons Hockey next weekend. Again, a 7-2 final here from Johnny's Ice House West in Chicago in favor of DePaul. They outscore Louisville in this series 16-3. And again, my name's been Jarek Rubel saying so long and enjoy your weekend.